Welcome back to another episode, crew. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, please hit that like button, subscribe, keep up to date what I'm trying to share with you guys. So if you guys aren't aware, this might be the first time you guys trying to look at the channel and stuff. So my goal with this channel is to bring a female presence into the YouTube media space to do with CrossFit. There isn't really any that I'm aware of. Obviously there's like Morning Chalk Up and stuff who have female commentators and news people and stuff like that. However, there isn't a dedicated female channel that I'm aware of. I might be wrong. We do have a lot of media people in the CrossFit media space with YouTube channels and stuff. However, they're all pretty much the main people are male, and I'm trying to build a female presence in that space. So I'd love you guys to support the channel so I can grow it and make it, more out there and share a female point of view and a female perspective in the CrossFit world. A couple of things I want to talk about today. Quick one, I saw that Gerard is back in Australia. So him and his girlfriend Michelle, they went to Mexico for a holiday after the CrossFit Games. He has landed back in Australia and pretty much straight away he was back to like training and stuff. So Benny took a picture and said a video of him doing bar muscle ups and stuff. And in it, Benny said that he's trying to get Ricky to rest. However, then Ricky reposted it and he put on there, he said, I think it was like 3 months away until Rogue or something like that. So that's telling me that Ricky is planning on heading over to the Rogue Invitational when it comes up later on this year. It'll be actually cool to see. I'm actually loving that there is more elite events other than the CrossFit Games now. So obviously we have the Rogue Invitational, we have the CrossFit Games, and then we have another big one is the Dubai individual championships. So that those 3 events alone, and Wodapalooza, between those 4 events there's a lot of like elite presence in athletes, and you can actually see a lot of these elite athletes compete not just at the CrossFit Games. So it's super exciting to see. I'm excited to see which of the Australian athletes get an invite to that. Obviously, Ricky finished in that top 10 position. Usually top 10 athletes do get a direct invite to the CrossFit Games, to the Rogue Invitational. So that'll be cool to see. But I'll be interested to see which other Australian athletes. I reckon that Cara Saunders will probably get an invite. I'm not sure if she would accept it after, because she has to obviously consider her whole family when she travels and stuff. So it's a little bit more difficult for her. The other thing I wanted to talk about was Tia Claire Toomey. So she's just released a video, a vlog between her and Shane chatting about the 2022 Games and how it went, some of the mistakes that Tia made throughout the events and stuff, and how they weren't used to her starting, so far back in the pack, being on that workout with the single unders and then going into the double unders and then into the double under crossovers. So that workout obviously set her back a lot and she had to then work her way back up. But however, in saying that, she finished out being on top of the podium. Now the big question that everyone wants to know is Tia Claire Toomey going to retire? I personally think so. They didn't actually answer that in the vlog. Okay, they didn't really say what was on the cards for the 2023 season. Other than Shane was talking about how he's going to deconstruct the workouts and stuff. Now he obviously has a whole team of athletes that he coaches. Okay, so he would need to deconstruct the workouts anyway because he needs to know what to work on for the next season for his other athletes anyway. I personally think that Tia's debating coming back for her 2023 season until after the Rogue Invitational. I think that she might do Rogue Invitational, see how she goes there, how she feels, and whether or not she wins that or not. Might be a leading factor into why she hasn't announced. I also think that she might be baiting us all, and it's a question that everyone wants to know the answer to, and at the end of the day really doesn't matter if she stays in the sport or not. If she goes for a 7th year, doesn't really make a difference. So to us as spectators, we all just want to know what's Tia doing, but really it is Tia's decision at the end of the day, and she doesn't have to make an announcement about whether or not she's coming back for a season. It's only because she's in the spotlight that everyone wants to know what she's doing. If she was, say, for example, with Scott Panchek retiring last year, or so he said retiring, he just retired from training like a competitive athlete, but he didn't announce that. No one was speculating after the games, or before the games, whether that was going to be Scott Panchik's last year. No one was like, oh, you're going to retire after this season or this game's Scott Panchik. No one was doing that. Okay, everyone just wants to know this because T is right up there. Same thing happened to Matt Fraser, same thing happened to Rich Froning. So it's just a pattern of how it rolls when, I guess, athletes are at the peak of their sport, and also the dominant athlete, because everyone wants to know, is she going to come back for another year and keep the crown away from someone else who's up and coming? In saying that, who knows? It'll be interesting to see. And I reckon Tia will definitely hold out before she announces anything. Maybe she hasn't made up her mind yet, or maybe she has made up her mind and she just thinks it's actually my choice and my decision and it's no one else's business really. So it'll be interesting to see what happens over the next coming months with a couple of other events coming up. Now, the other thing I want to talk about with regards to the CrossFit Games. So I was looking at the CrossFit Games athlete list. There is a lot of athletes who are unaffiliated athletes competing at the CrossFit Games. So when I say unaffiliated, an affiliate is a gym that does CrossFit, that pays for an affiliation, which means that they get to have the label CrossFit or utilize the word CrossFit in their name or in their programming or whatever. So they may not be called CrossFit blah blah blah, it might be just called blah blah, but they actually have a CrossFit affiliation. Now, this year at the CrossFit Games, there was a lot of athletes who were unaffiliated. I would love to know people's thoughts on why possibly this might be the case. My personal thoughts are that being an elite athlete, you don't really get space and time in normal affiliates to be able to train, okay? A lot of these athletes have to do it in their own time, in their own space, because classes and stuff take priority in CrossFit gyms. A CrossFit gym isn't there for an elite athlete, it is there for the general population. It is not there to provide a space and time for an elite athlete. An elite athlete very, very rarely does a class, okay? They train by themselves, or they train with a comp squad, or they train with a coach, and that is why a lot of them aren't affiliated, because like I know that the CrossFit gym in my town, they wouldn't be able to accommodate an elite athlete because there's not enough space. It would take away equipment from the members. It would also draw members possibly out of the classes and into the interest of wanting to do someone else's paid programming or a comp programming or whatever, and take away from the whole idea of being a CrossFit gym, which is a gym that provides group fitness activities for members in that gym in a class environment. It's about bringing the community together. If you have an elite athlete, they're not usually a big part of the community because they have their whole other side of doing stuff on top of that. So I would love to hear someone else's feedback in regards to why there's so many athletes now coming through in the competitive side who are not affiliated with a CrossFit gym. So if you do have any feedback in regards to that or anything I spoke about today, just leave a comment below, and don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one, crew. Thanks for joining me.